Welcome to Sober Barkeep. I'm Brandon Anderson, coming to you from Anderson's Guitar Bar here in lovely League City, Texas. Today we're going to take a look at another Lyre's product. We're going to take a look at the Dry London Spirit. By definition, right off the bat, with that name, you would expect a gin type alternative that is very juniper forward. The London Dry style of gin is a juniper forward style of gin. Others that are just labeled gin can be juniper forward as well, but yeah, some of the citrus forward ones would be there as well. But you wouldn't expect something that was labeled as a London Dry to be very citrus forward. So the expectation would be, if you open this thing up and take a taste and a smell of this thing, that you'd catch juniper right off the top. And actually in the literature they tell you that that's what they're expecting out of this one. So we'll take a look at this one. This is another gin that we're trying here. We've tried a couple of them on the show, and we're gonna give this one a shot. So just like all the spirits, we're gonna pour a little bit here. And again, this is not intended to be drink straight or on the rocks. This is intended to be put in cocktails, but kind of get a feel of what we're dealing with here. Right off the bat, very light botanical smell. Not a real strong. In fact, probably more citrus than juniper in the nose. The nose itself, the juniper is definitely there. Really nice, very nice light aroma to it. When you taste it, very thin. In fact, this is probably a more watery product than what they normally put out. But very juniper. You got a lot of juniper there. Kind of tastes like gin. It's got that very dryness you expect of gin. The tongue feel that you expect with the aftertaste of gin. Not a big forward taste of gin, but a decent juniper taste of gin. It's done a good example of a London Dry. I've had some of the alternatives that have more juniper than this. This one's kind of a little more balanced. It's got the juniper, does have some citrus notes to it and some citrus flavors as well. So we're going to try this one. I want to do this one a little differently. We're going to do a Tom Collins with this one. So let's get a little ice in here first. A little ice. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of the Dry London Spirit. And we're going to do the juice of half of a decent sized lemon. It's not an extra large lemon. You're supposed to have about 1 ounce, and that's what you're going to get out of about a half of a lemon this size. Is around 1 ounce of lemon juice. Going to go with 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. To take a little edge off there. And this is a classic Tom Collins recipe, and you top it off with club soda. And you use about 2 to 3 ounces of club soda in here. Classically, these are served in a very tall, thin glass. It's just easier to stir, in my mind. And what I did find, I did try this in a tall glass. These really needs to be stirred. It doesn't mix as well as maybe a normal gin would in a tall glass without the stirring. So I just serve it in a old-fashioned glass because it's easier to get a good mix out of it. So with that, very nice, clean, crisp smell out of the lemons. Really marry with that juniper nose. And a really, really nice drink. There's just enough juniper there to bite through the lemon juice. The lemon juice is very prevalent, like you would expect in a Tom Collins, just a tiny bit of sweetness to take the edge off, but it's not a sweet drink at all. This is a nice little sipping cocktail here. I can see myself, once it finally warms up in Texas, sitting around the pool and sipping on one of these. I'm going to give this Lyre's product a 4. It's a solid product. It's not one of the best I've had, but it's great. I mean, it's definitely not a throwaway at all. In fact, it's a really good product. And if you like a juniper style gin, I would recommend you try it. It's there. It's not a real strong juniper. In fact, I would say it's more balanced from the juniper heavy ones that I've had. This one's a little more balanced, and it's got a little more citrus notes in it, and it blends very well with the lemon to make a good Tom Collins. So we'll give it a 4. Give it a shot. Lyre's guys. Again, another solid product out of the Lyre's product line. I'm very impressed with these guys. They're putting it out. So from Sober Barkeep, live well, drink smarter.